Could belly and arm fat be linked to your brain health decline, Alzheimer's, and dementia? Well, a number of people with neurodegenerative diseases is increasing rapidly. We've seen it in the news. I've talked about Parkinson's, I've talked about Alzheimer's. Well, a 2022 analysis estimated that by 2050, around 153 million people worldwide will be living with dementia. Parkinson's disease, second most common, has seen its numbers more than double since 1990, with over 6 million people affected as of 2016. That's not even taking into account the last 4 years and what's been going on. While longer lifespans play a role in this increase, studies have shown that factors like obesity, a lack of physical activity, also raise the risk of dementia and Parkinson's. On the flip side, maintaining a healthy weight and staying active can help diminish the risk. Now, a study using the data from a UK biobank has revealed that it's not just extra weight, but where that weight is carried that might influence the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Published in the Journal of the American Academy of Neurology, the research suggests that extra belly fat and upper arm fat could increase the risk, while increased muscle mass might decrease it. Now, if you go on my website, there's an article about the adrenal fatigue body, right? So when we're stressed, we get belly fat, we get the upper shoulder hunchback. That's where we keep our fat. Well, we know cortisol also raises blood sugar, so keep that in mind as we're talking through this. The researchers analyzed data from over 400,000 people who were followed for an average of 9 years. And during this time, over 8,000 people developed neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's being the most common. So at the start, the participants had an average age of about 56. They assessed their body composition, and then they discovered that individuals with more belly fat, that dangerous visceral fat that protects our organs when we're under attack, and upper arm fat had an increased risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases. So in contrast, higher bone density and leg dominant fat distribution decreased the risks, while muscle helped decrease that risk as well. We always talk about that muscle being the organ of longevity. Why? Because it increases insulin sensitivity. It also increases mitochondria in that muscle tissue. That's why muscle is so important. So we are talking about body composition, which a lot of people look at for just vanity, right? But now we're talking about our brain health. So why? Increased arm and belly fat may raise that risk due to inflammation, insulin resistance, cardiovascular health issues. Well, this goes along with everything I've been talking about. So improving your body composition through diet and exercise and weight management will help your brain. Well, we also know that exercise helps your mood and helps with depression. So all of these things go together. But what is the root cause of brain decline? What are they getting at? Because they've said in the study that these are associative. Did obesity come first, or did the decline in brain come first? What came first, the chicken or the egg? They all come back to insulin resistance. It is the driver of heart disease, brain disease, hormonal imbalances, fatty liver, obesity, diabetes. Insulin resistance is at the root cause of all of these diseases. That's why when you correct them, you're not just correcting your weight, but you're correcting your brain, you're correcting your hormones, getting rid of that PCOS, getting rid of the diabetes. Diabetes is insulin resistance at the liver. Heart disease is insulin resistance at the heart. PCOS, insulin resistance at the ovaries. Alzheimer's and dementia, insulin resistance at the brain. So it makes sense that your brain is going to decline as your body is showing insulin resistance. And what else causes insulin resistance besides just sugar? Well, you've got the stressors, and the stressors in life, which have increased significantly, and our ability to process that stress has caused our cortisol to increase, creating that belly fat, that dangerous fat, and that upper arm fat. Also, we've got the processed foods. Processed foods have the added sugar, the lack of fiber, the seed oils that are inflammatory. Even the oils don't have sugar in them. They're causing insulin resistance at the level of the cell. The artificial sweeteners, the lack of amino acids, these emulsifiers, these artificial ingredients, the body doesn't know what to do them, so they stuff them in our fat cells so that we can get them out of our blood to survive. And you then have these added gluten and grains that are full of GMOs and glyphosate. And then, of course, it gives you that dopamine when you eat the processed foods. So then you want to eat more and you eat more and you eat more. I actually just saw a study this morning that if you're eating processed foods, you will eat 500 more calories a day than if you stick to whole foods. So just by getting rid of processed foods, you're going to prevent all of these diseases that we're talking about, not just the brain. So what else besides processed foods? You've got that radiation that increases insulin resistance. It attacks the nervous system, endocrine, and hormonal system, increases oxidative stress, free radical damage. Of course, that's going on in the brain. It's lowering your ATP in the brain. The brain is starving for energy. It's starving for blood flow. I get a headache when I'm on my cell phone or my computer too long. There's a reason. I get a headache when I'm on an airplane too long. Then you add in the increased toxicity. We're not talking about calories here, guys. We're talking about the heavy metals, the GMOs, glyphosate, fluoride, chlorine, bromide in our food and water. That's contributing to the liver overload. The liver cannot focus on getting rid of all this stuff. It's so backed up. That is causing insulin resistance. That's causing a complete disruption in the whole system. Then, like I said, the spike protein over the last 4 years has increased the indications of all of these diseases that we're talking about, including Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It worsens health conditions and it helps increase that insulin resistance away from sugar. It affects the ACE2 receptor in the liver, which is responsible for insulin regulation, hormonal balance, oxidative stress, water retention, and inflammation overall. It also increases cholesterol, gut issues, mental illness, everything. You also have an increase in copper depletion across the population. That is from the high fructose corn syrup and the processed foods, also from the spike protein. Both of those things deplete that copper out of the body, and copper plays a crucial role in reducing the uric acid, which is a key factor in preventing insulin resistance. It inhibits the polyol pathway, which helps regulate triglycerides and liver fat and manages iron levels to reduce that oxidative stress. So copper, copper, copper. So what do you do about it? This is where the Ascent Diet Cleanse comes in. I've put together these supplements so that day one, your energy increases, your cravings go down, and you pair it with the accelerated food guide that you have the foods to focus on that are going to get what your brain needs, your muscle needs, and your belly fat needs to take care of it all. It eliminates toxins, it reduces insulin resistance between the combination of the accelerated fast, which is the new improved formula replacing accelerated keto, the accelerated iodine, the accelerated ancient salt. All of those things lower blood sugar, curb the cravings, and ease the intermittent fasting. It improves digestion because if you're not digesting your food, you're not getting the nutrients to your brain. It helps with the weight loss in that belly especially. And it unlike those restrictive detoxes, it boosts your metabolism and fat burning as well. And you feel good. You've got brain energy, clarity, and you've got energy to go work out and do the things that are going to help those muscles and your brain improve your longevity. It boosts your immune system between the accelerated iodine and the accelerated silver to fight the pathogens, supported by that nutrient-dense food guide that I provide as well. You will have clearer skin, reduce the inflammation throughout the body, and then, of course, enhance that mental clarity and the mental function. So those are the things that you can use to prevent that brain decline. That accelerating iodine is crucial. It increases ATP by 18 times. It controls the inflammation. It detoxes the brain of the toxins, the fluoride and the bromide and the chlorine that are actually causing you to have that brain fog and dumbing you down. With that, you also get the accelerated thyroid in the cleanse. And why is that important? Thyroid is your master endocrine gland. It controls everything. Without your thyroid, you're not going to feel good, brain and body. With thyroid issues, most people have depression or mood disorders, and they have brain fog. That accelerated thyroid is the natural way to get rid of those symptoms. This is the greatest way and quickest way to get your body back on track and to clear out the fog and the cobwebs in your brain, reduce that insulin resistance that's causing the obesity and the brain decline and supporting that muscle building. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in today. If you need my help with your health concerns, don't know where to start, feel free to reach out to me at SaraBantaHealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. Join my free group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. I share daily tips and tools to improve your health, answer your questions. You'll be surrounded by an amazing group that are going to share their feedback as well. And there's more information at SaraBantaHealth.com. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Accelerated Health Products. You can catch this podcast on over 100 platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. Just search Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show. I'm on a mission to share my message with everyone who is ready to listen. Help me with this goal. Share this podcast with a few of your friends who might benefit. Thanks again for joining us here, and have a great week.